In this video, I will demonstrate how to use Airtable's milestones and dependency features as well as critical paths in the Gantt view. So the first step to understanding milestones is understanding that there is a difference between tasks and milestones in our Gantt view. The way we have this set up now is everything in our grid view is a task because it has a start date and an end date. However, if we want to model milestones, I'm going to create a new record here just called Milestone 1. Give it a category and status. Oops. So for a record to count as a milestone, the only thing you want to put in is an end date. So I'm going to put in an end date that falls in line with the rest of these dates so that it shows up on the chart. And you do not want to add a start date. So once you go back to your Gantt view, you're going to want to go to settings and scroll down to milestones and use milestones. Okay, so once that's done, you can go ahead and click the done button. My room will get out the way. There we go. And as you can see, we now have this diamond-shaped element on our Gantt view, which is going to represent our milestone. So as you can see, it's different. It doesn't have a duration and a span like the rest of our tasks. It's really meant to indicate a particular deadline or date that is of significance that you want to track as a milestone. You can also add a milestone from the upper left hand just by clicking Add Milestone, as well as you can also add a record there as well. So let's talk about dependencies. Dependencies are used because project schedules often need tasks to be completed in a specific order in order to be completed correctly. So dependencies are essentially us saying task A needs to happen before task B, and task B needs to happen before task C. They come in two different types, predecessors and successors. Predecessors are tasks that need to be completed before the task of question is completed, and successors are tasks that need to be completed after the task in question is completed. So the way we start modeling these on our Gantt view is we want to add a new field that represents our dependency. So this field is going to be a linked record, and you're going to want to link the record to the same table of tasks. So this one's already connected, so we've done everything we need to set this one up. Next, you're going to want to input which specific task is required to be completed before this task is completed. So we could do something like, for this one, we could say the predecessor is find new task tracker. And so that means this task needs to be completed before this task does. Okay? So we could have also called this successor tasks and then linked it a different way in our Gantt view if these were successor tasks. But for now, I'll show you how to do it this way, and then you'll be able to understand how to do successor tasks as well. So they're not going to show up as dependencies yet on our chart until we go to settings and enable the dependency field by choosing the field that we want to act as our predecessor. So we have predecessors and successors. We can choose which one we want to delineate this particular field to be. We're going to leave it as predecessors, and we're going to enable the highlight critical path feature. The critical path is going to be the chain of dependent tasks that need to be completed in order for the project to be completed on time. So if we jump back over here, we will see we now have, let's actually shrink this down a little bit. We now have this chain of tasks that needs to be completed in this order. So as you can see, these red arrows are going to indicate a place where there's an invalid dependency. See this start date, this particular task has an end date that ends before the start date of its predecessor. So if I move this back, or let me rephrase that, we have a task whose end date is after its successor's task, which doesn't make a lot of sense. You want this task to end before its successive task starts. As you can see here, this red arrow is showing us that we have a predecessor task that starts, whose end date ends before the start date of its subsequent task. So we want to move this back a little bit in order to clear that up. And as you can see, this has been cleared up. This has been made proper based on these, correct sequence of events. As you can see, we have a golden line here, and that is going to be indicating our critical path. These gray lines are going to still indicate our dependent tasks, but they are not on the critical path. As you can see, this task ends here, and there's no successor task, meaning that no matter where you move this, it's not going to change the end date of this entire project unless we move it beyond the previous end date, the latest previous end date, the previous latest end date, excuse me. Okay, so that is the critical path. It's pretty effective and pretty simple to see which tasks are the most important for keeping on schedule for your particular schedule. You can add new dependencies directly from this chart simply by highlighting over the end of the task and dragging that little dot, and you can link it to any subsequent task to add a new dependency. Okay, so that is how we create milestones, dependencies, and critical paths in our Gantt view. Stay tuned for the next video.